How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another Internet Inspector here on the channel. We're looking at Leafy today. Yes, the most notorious commentary channel of all time. What a shock that I'm looking at his content today. And instead of looking at the people who were his past targets, I'll be looking at his past and current enemies on the platform. And we'll be figuring out if their careers as YouTubers have died over the past few years, as well as Leafy's career died in 2017. Obviously, Leafy's career is not completely dead. He made a comeback to YouTube recently with some amazingly edited content. It was just fantastic. A lot of effort went into that content. Instead of shitting on Leafy, we're going to look at Leafy's enemies and whether or not they've died on the platform after Leafy stopped making videos. Whether or not they've died when Leafy wanted them to die. Firstly though, I'm going to quickly say LeafyIsHere was a channel that I watched back at the height of his popularity. I kept subscribing and unsubscribing to his channel because I wasn't even sure if his content was good or not. This was me when I was about 16 years old watching his channel at the height of his popularity. I remember I used to watch his videos mostly at school. I don't know why I was watching them at school, but I was. And I remember his series on Marina Joyce, that girl that did all these strange videos. And of course his Keemstar series. Those were the two that I was probably more focused on. All of his other videos where he shat on little kids and stuff like that, I didn't really care much for that content. I was more interested in watching his rants on Keemstar for some reason. I actually thought his third rant on Keemstar was his best video ever, straight after I watched it. And then I realized that he ripped off Colossal is Crazy with the Ghostbusters theme right at the end of the video. Even his best video has some plagiarism. Great stuff.
Keemstar is a complete hypocrite.
From the beginning of time on YouTube.
No, but of course today, guys, I'm talking about his enemies, and we're going to start off with Heywatchyourmouth. Heywatchyourmouth was a YouTuber who made a video called The Real Leafy Is Here. This was around the time Leafy was starting to get as much hate than ever before. It was directly after iDubbbz did his content cop on Leafy, and all these people were making videos about Leafy and how he behaves online, all the dirty, shady dealings he does with people over Twitter, and the $20 okay, is $20 okay thing. If you don't remember that, guys, it was him basically asking people to edit his videos and him following up with the line, is $20 okay, for the full edit of his video.
Alright, sure, yeah, I mean, fuck, if you're gonna pay me, that's what's up. How much are you gonna pay me, dude? Is 20 bucks okay?
Or just getting his face on a crocodile as like a PNG image for him to add to his videos. It's not like you can just make that yourself in 5 minutes. This is the kind of lazy content we're dealing with here, guys. When Heywatchyourmouth made this video, otherwise known as Nick Cash, this video boosted his channel like never before. It got 1 million+ views, and his channel went into the stratosphere in subscribers, compared to the subs he had before he made this video, of course. Despite getting an enormous amount of subscribers from making this video on Leafy, Nick Cash eventually moved away from commentary videos and decided to focus more on YouTube streaming. With this newfound subscriber base from the video The Real Leafy Is Here and other videos he'd made, he'd established a proper 100,000 subscriber plus following, and it was going to put his channel in good stead. He deleted the Real Leafy Is Here video, and nowadays he just does streaming. The one thing I must say about his streams, I click on them every now and then, and I've decided to click on the last 10 to see how they're actually doing. And after the last 10 that I clicked on, they all had under 100 views at any time I clicked on them. That's not really great for a channel with 195,000 subscribers. I think it's because he does a lot of streams, and you know, a lot of people can't keep up with the amount of streams he does. And of course, people subscribe to the channel after the video The Real Leafy Is Here, and I'm sure a lot of the people who subscribed aren't interested in streams, and they're more interested in the commentary content he was producing before he moved more to streams. Nevertheless though, that video he made on Leafy is still a classic, and I'm sure there's a re-upload floating around somewhere. So another one of Leafy's enemies is H3 Productions, who made a video on Leafy in 2016 titled The Leafy Rant. This video was made to show everyone just how cancerous these commentary channels that shit on little kids are, but at the same time H3 looked like a complete hypocrite because of the hidden DMs he'd been doing with Leafy, praising the channel even when they were making the exact same content as before. It just looked like a way of him trying to get on top of Leafy and completely bury the competition. Leafy pointed out in a response video that H3 had himself insulted younger kids and made reaction videos on a kid that was 14 years old in the past. Obviously Leafy's response wasn't the greatest thing of all time, but these points made H3 look like a bit of a hypocrite at the time. However, his fan base back then was so strong that it wasn't going to affect him that much, and it didn't affect him at all, really. However, though, at the start of 2017, H3H3 started the H3 podcast. They slowly stopped making videos for their main channel that were properly edited and were actually high quality, and moved more towards this podcast that they did all the time, in favor of their main channel. A lot of controversies came out of this podcast, and things that people didn't like Ethan saying who were fans of Ethan, and their channel and their fan base started to dwindle dramatically. This is because people weren't interested in what he had to say on the podcast, they were more interested in his comedy videos on his main channel, and they just weren't being made at all. So in a way, H3H3 has sort of died, and his popularity in the platform has kind of dwindled since he stopped making videos on his main channel. Something Leafy would have loved for sure. Another thing that made his podcast very unpopular was him only having high profile guests and never having any smaller YouTubers. And when I say smaller YouTubers, I mean YouTubers with just under 100,000 subscribers. He wouldn't put them on the podcast. And when a YouTuber with under 1 million subscribers was on the podcast, they were talked about very briefly and were on the podcast for a very short amount of time, as people could see from the William Osman episode, which is universally canned as one of his worst podcasts.
We got a 2-shot, right?
Is this live right now?
Do you guys mind? Yeah, we're live. Do you guys mind swapping out?
That's fine.
This is...
Oh, yeah.
This
Yeah, because
we didn't plan to have 2 guests at once. I'm done. If you have time, we'll finish in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And we'll come hang out for a bit. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right,
Should I
cool.
leave that there?
Yeah, please leave that there
Oh,
forever.
yeah, right.
Forever.
I'm gonna take this. This is
Right,
Okay, get that.
Obviously, I have to address the recent video Leafy made on H3H3 Productions after H3H3 mentioned Leafy talking about the iDubbbz controversy, which I'm about to get to in a little bit. This video kind of sparked this feud up again, as Leafy hadn't mentioned H3H3 in a long time.
The content that he was making would never fly on YouTube today, and you have to adapt and overcome the fact that, like, you can't even curse, bro. Like, I don't know.
You're a fat, fucking disgusting piece of shit.
And there's no need to take a stand.
Now, of course, we move on to iDubbbz. He quit Content Cop around the same time Leafy stopped uploading to YouTube, and he recently had a ridiculous controversy and claimed after the controversy finished in the response video he made to it that a Content Cop was coming up soon. I'm not sure if this was some sort of mini attempt to resurrect his proper popularity on the platform. Who knows? I might be completely wrong saying that, but he did say in his recent video that he's bringing back Content Cop as one of the videos he's got upcoming. Of course, around this whole controversy of the OnlyFans account with his girlfriend, Leafy decided to chime in and call him a cuck.
My girlfriend started an OnlyFans account, and I think all of it is cool. Yeah, I know.
Dude, you're a fucking cuck.
Just call me Angel.
And then make another video with all these highlights and compilations of him and his girlfriend saying certain things. It's all a massive mess. There's no winners in something like this when, you know, you just got a YouTuber shitting on another YouTuber. Leafy's obviously just trying to get back at him a little bit from the Content Cop days, even though that was 3 or 4 years ago. It's just a weird kind of drama there. But that's basically Leafy's last 3 videos and his sort of mini crappy comeback to YouTube. Wow, this really is a video shitting on Leafy now. iDubbbz's career hasn't failed at all. This controversy obviously has dwindled his fan base a little bit. He hasn't lost subscribers from it, but when I say dwindled his fan base, I mean that the popularity has kind of gone a little bit more downhill because of it. I might go into this controversy in a future video, but if not, I'll just say that his girlfriend made an OnlyFans account. Everyone thought iDubbbz was a simp, even though that makes no sense in the context of the situation, and it became this huge thing on the internet with everyone shitting on iDubbbz because they all put him on this high pedestal, and now they're pissed that he made that video. That's basically it, and Leafy made a couple of response videos. The end. Leafy really wanted his career to die though, you can tell. It's not gonna die though. And finally, Keemstar. Keemstar was the biggest enemy of Leafy on YouTube back in 2016 when Leafy was making the Keemstar rant 3 or 4 times over, shitting on Keemstar. Well, since 2016, Keemstar has completely rebuilt his channel. He's gained more subs than anyone could have predicted. He's pretty much tripled his subscribers, I think, and his exchanges with Leafy is now a distant past. He actually ended up bringing back Leafy to YouTube on Drama Alert for an interview in 2018 or 19, I think. This was a long time before Leafy made those recent videos as well, so Keemstar and Leafy are sort of on good terms, even though Leafy tried to ruin his career. Keemstar actually claimed on the Misfits podcast that the times when he was getting shit on from Leafy's fanbase were the worst times for him on YouTube, and he almost quit YouTube entirely. However, as everyone knows, Keemstar is a YouTuber who cannot be squashed. You cannot stop Keemstar from making new accounts and continuing on YouTube, and he is still a YouTuber to this day. Of course, Leafy wanted YouTubers like Heywatchyourmouth, H3H3, iDubbbzTv, and Keemstar to all have careers that failed, and he wanted them all to go downhill on YouTube, but certain YouTubers just can't be squashed. However, to wrap up this video, finally, I will say that there are 2 of these 4 YouTubers whose careers I think have gone downhill and aren't gonna last the test of time on the platform. I have more faith in Heywatchyourmouth, but I think him only doing streams that get under 100 views all the time is not a reliable and sustainable way of surviving as a YouTuber personality, and I think it's a bit of a disaster for him. He probably needs to go back to well-edited videos and good commentary if he's going to survive for a long time on this platform. And when it comes to H3H3, I know I said in a previous video that H3H3 was one of the biggest problems on YouTube and was just one of the most cancerous channels, but that was like a slight toss up with some others, if I could just wind back to that video briefly. I think the worst thing to come out of this is the H3H3 Productions disaster. Yes, I think H3H3 is the least likely of those 4 people to have a career that lasts the test of time. I think his fan base and his following, his entire podcast as well, is going to dwindle over the years, and it's never going to come back to the same place it once was, just because he took his newfound YouTube fame for granted and hasn't really cherished it and been a good person about it. He's kind of been too rich too fast and been arrogant about it, in my opinion. But it's up to you guys what you think. Write in the comments what you think about this whole thing. These are Leafy's enemies, and this is what happened to them since Leafy has left YouTube.
And he is putting them on his second channel to earn revenue from. And they're getting hundreds of thousands of fucking views. And I mean, the guy couldn't even shout me out on that. Again, he just puts me in the description.
He just showed that and said, dude, you're a fucking cuck, dude. And that was it. And people loved it. People loved the video. You can't even curse, bro. Like, I don't know.
You're a fat, fucking disgusting piece of shit.
Yeah, I just really want my Twitter back. That'd be sick.
You avoided that real quick.
And I think all of it is cool. Yeah, I know.
Dude, you're a fucking cuck.
Whose career do you think ended? Was it H3H3? Was it iDubbbz? Was it Keemstar? Who's gonna die first? That's basically what I'm asking. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Internet Inspector. I will be back hopefully very soon for another Internet Inspector. I'll see what I've got coming up down the pipeline. Another Have You Seen It hopefully coming up in a few days. We'll just wait and see it for that. What am I doing? Fucking hell. Thanks guys for watching. This has been Sam's Movies. Leafy is here to turn the freaking thing off and end the production. Also, I should briefly say at this after credits scene here, my lights were actually pinched. The good lights that I used to have here and I've had in my podcast and previous videos, like the Nerd City video where I had the lights, you know, in the cage. Yeah, the remote to those lights has been pinched by someone who shall remain unnamed on this platform. I doubt I'm gonna get the remote back, so I'll probably end up ordering new lights, which will take a while, so you won't see lights, like good lights, in the background of videos for a while. Sorry about that, guys, but yeah, I'm gonna try and fix that issue. Thanks, guys, for watching once again. Kill me! This is actually terrible. All of his other videos shitting on little kids and stuff like that. Jesus Christ. Compared to the script. Oh my fucking god. Not during a video, please. It just looked like a way of him trying to get on top of Leafy and bury the competition. Oh, fuck.
Fuck off, will you dirty pig!
However, though, you cannot sink this rat. These are Leafy's enemies, and that's what